Hi, greetings. Thank you for joining us once again on Adolescent and Youth SRHR digital platform, where we showcase change makers who are engaged in matters adolescent and youth sexual reproductive health. This is also even the reason why we created this particular platform is to bridge the knowledge and awareness gap regarding adolescents and youth accessing sexual reproductive health information. So today we are joined in the studio. We are joined in the studio by the team leader at Real Hope Youth Organization. Her name is Mother Sanda, and she's going to tell us more about what they are doing to impact their community, even through their initiatives on sexual reproductive health. So, welcome to the studio, Mother.
Thank you very much.
Kindly introduce yourself so that the viewer can get to learn more about you.
Hello, viewers. My name is Martha Mwende. I'm the team leader at Real Hope Community Youth Organization. Yes.
So, why did you decide to start Real Hope Youth Organization?
Real Hope Youth Organization is an organization that started in the year 2014. And our main reason of starting the organization, me and my other three colleagues, was we were responding to the increase of street children and street youth in the community. And we had just a passion, like a passion-driven initiative at first, that we used to give back to the community by visiting these street kids and interacting with the youth. And as a result, Real Hope was born, and we've continued with our initiatives until today.
So
since 2014.
Continue. I thought you had stopped.
Okay, so since 2014, we've managed to do quite a lot of projects around the street youth, street children, young women, and adolescent girls. In our catchment area is Boreti, Kibra, and its environs. Our first initiative was this empowering the street youth, whereby we tried to mobilize some few street youth whom we took through a methadone rehabilitation program at Mathare, and later on we managed to start up some IGS, income generating projects for them after some career mentorship trainings. So in total, the first youths were 21. Later on, we thought, like, why don't we use the street youth to mentor the street children? And during our programs, which we were calling the street work programs, we had identified a few children who are willing to, like, go back to school and change their lives. And so that is how our reception was. It's called the reception center, was born out of that. And at first we could rely on friends and our own resources to kind of support these few children. We started with a very few children, and the initiative grew as time went by. When we got in some more people who are willing to support our programs. And so the children, we started at something we call the reception center, where these children could come and have a time, like they would come and have their meals, hygiene, they would shower. We had some caregivers who could take care of them, take them through basic education, have them full 3 meals a day, and teach them some hygiene and sanitation, behavior, and many other things, some guidance and counseling. Basically, it was a rehabilitation program, a wholesome rehabilitation program for the children. At first, we started with 22 children. And at the moment, we're supporting 75 children in the program. Who have already gone through the rehabilitation program, have already finished, and all of them luckily have joined formal schools. And so they're all continuing with their education. Others are in high school, others are in primary school. For the youth programs, we still continued with the youth programs.
Before you embark on the youth program, Kindly position your camera nicely because it's like you're leaning on one side.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, there.
Am I fine?
Yeah, I think that's much better. Yeah, so kindly share more about the youth program.
So with the youth programs, we have two categories. We have these categories of former street youth, and we have the category of the vulnerable youths in the community. Vulnerable youths in the community, most of them we try to do something we're calling work integration, like trying to get them something for them to do, some at least some source of employment, not formal employment for most of them, because these are youths, probably the community, most of them will find their dropouts and didn't manage like to finish the education. So we kind of try and connect with some people who could give them some basic some employment for them to earn a living, a meaningful living, and like that will divert them from the other way of life of crime and drug and substance abuse. So we've tried working with some people around who have tried and given them some apprenticeship programs, like the apprenticeship programs in their own capacities that we've managed to engage quite a number of youths in these programs. For the others, they come in the program and they support us with the children projects, where they help us with the mentorship projects for the children, and they also help us with the street work, where we work with the street youths in the community. And for instance, our reception program, which ended up to be our main program, where we focused mainly on children, we have a sponsorship program that is up and running. The sponsorship program is supporting these children through their education, because we realized these are children who need support. These are children who need education in order to break the cycle of poverty in their families. Because you'll find a family that has 6 children and none of them has ever gone to school. So when you take 1 or 2 from that family and take this child through education, then you're sure that this 1 or 2 in that family will come and break the cycle of poverty in that family, and will be able to support this family in future, rather than all of them being uneducated. So our sponsorship program was one of our key programs that we've implemented together with our rehabilitation program. And again, we have another program called the reintegration program that focuses on reuniting these children back to their families, back to the society, back to the community after our programs. Yes,
right.
Vayo. So should I continue the adolescent projects?
Yes, kindly go ahead.
Yeah, so there's this other project that came in as a result of COVID-19 response, where we realized when the schools closed, so many of our girls were falling in the trap of perpetrators. We had a lot of child abuse cases, a lot of defilement cases, a lot of child neglect and abandonment. We had a lot of issues around children. Children actually during COVID-19, people might not know, but children were the greatest were the victims of most of these circumstances in our society and in our community. People realize that school plays a key role in the life of these children. And so as much as there was free primary education, when COVID-19 came, these children were taken back to zero, to square one. So these children in the society, in the community, most of them, they're adolescent girls, and from the age, let me say the age of 12, 13, 14, to the age of 19, these are girls and boys who are really affected. And we started a program that was targeting the girls from the age of 13 to the age of 17, 18 years. And this category of girls were girls who could come for the mentorship programs, where we would mainly focus on the menstrual hygiene, and we'll give them sanitary towels, soap. But our main thing was not even to give them the sanitary towels. Our main thing was for us to get what we were inviting guest speakers who will come and talk to these children on different topics, majorly on reproductive health and how they take care of themselves during the COVID-19 time while they're at home, how to create the spirit of resilience that despite the challenges that they're facing at home, they can still survive through it and finish and join their school come January 2021. So we tried as much as possible to mentor the young girls, at least to avoid the teenage pregnancies that were on the rise. They were doing this during the mentorship programs where we were distributing the sanitary towels, because we realized sanitary towel was one of the key things that was leading these girls to the perpetrators' hands. I can give a typical example of a girl who comes from a poor family and the mom didn't have any money for the sanitary towel. This is a girl who started her menses during this time. And remember, at school they're having these programs even if the child starts while she's at school, you're sure the teacher will be able to guide her through. So in this case scenario, this is a parent who's a single mom, very much unemployed, does not have any source of, and is struggling to feed her 8 children. And so her second born child has started menses. The girl goes to the mom, this is happening to me, at least help me with the sanitary, help me with 50 shillings, I go get a sanitary towel, or 100 shillings. But the mom was like, should I, the frustration that comes with poverty? Will I think of 50 shillings for a sanitary towel, or I'll think of how you'll get food for dinner? So the girl saw like the mom was so frustrated and she left. Unfortunately, she fell in the hands of a motorbike guy who took advantage of the situation. Yes, he bought the girl the sanitary towel, but the girl had to pay for the sanitary towel after that. And as we're speaking, the girl is currently pregnant. So that was a trap of so many other young girls. That was the dilemma of so many other young girls who found themselves in such kind of, because people do not realize that sanitary towel at this time and age, these are girls who have not been taught of alternative way of handling their menses. And like back in the days when parents probably could teach their children, in case it has gone off guard, you can even get a piece of cloth or something and sort yourself out. These are children who are growing in a different kind of a generation where they don't have alternative ways of treating their menstrual hygiene of their menses. So these are girls, most of them you find they got so much stuck during this COVID-19, and that one led so many girls into teenage pregnancies, into early marriages, and even into the hands of perpetrators who defile the girls and rape the girls just because of lack of a sanitary towel. So, and the other case is that most of the girls, probably the firstborn and the secondborns in the families. Sorry. Something has happened to my phone.
Yeah, it's good now. Continue.
So.
Wow. Such an informative session. She's joining the studio again in a few. Wow. Hey, they started off helping street children, reaching out to them, and right now they have expanded and started several initiatives. And like this issue of sanitary pads, this thing touches my heart. Like at the end of the month, imagine, and the way they are painful, the menses. And then in addition to that, you don't even have a sanitary pad. Man, that is hell. Huh? Man. So I'm just so delighted just to see what Martha and her team are doing to reach out to the community. Kindly go ahead and as you are sharing about the menstrual hygiene, the adolescent girls.
Yeah, so the adolescent girls area is an area that I will really focus on during this interview, because it is during this COVID-19 that we've realized as much as we're taking care of our girls' needs, we are not taking good care of their needs at all as a society. Because if you go and talk to the young girls who have actually right now they're being named, they're being like tagged the COVID-19 pregnancies. Remember COVID-19 pregnancies, which is also stigmatizing these girls in a way. So you'll find most of them didn't even want to be pregnant. But people will say, no, it is okay. I'll talk of moral decay. Yes, there's moral decay in our society. Fine, I accept. But on the other hand, the circumstances that these girls find themselves in push them to that level. And especially during this COVID-19. People are talking of loss of jobs. Loss of jobs. Now imagine if at all people in the formal employment were losing their job. What about people in the informal employment? People living in informal setups. These were people who found themselves in corners. Most of them lost their livelihood because they were named like people living in the slums could be the source of spreading COVID-19 because they're living in crowded environments. And so most of them lost their casual work jobs. Even the mothers who could depend on wash clothes in the suburbs for a living while not getting that kind of an opportunity anymore, simply because of COVID-19 stigmatization towards the people living in the informal settlements. So here comes the children who are living in these informal settlements. The parents are frustrated they don't have money to feed their children. What about the girls who are starting their menses or who are continuing their menses? Will you go to your mom to ask for 100 shillings, yet you've not even eaten breakfast? Or last night you slept without food? You wouldn't even dare ask that for 100 shillings for a sanitary towel. So most of them fell into that trap. And it was so unfortunate when I was talking to some of the girls who are currently pregnant. Right now, I'm mentoring a team of 12 girls after one of them committed suicide months ago because she was 2 months pregnant. And so she didn't want to talk to anyone. She didn't want to tell anyone. The mother was so harsh. The environment is so harsh. The person in charge, the person who impregnated her disappeared. I think she felt like she has no other support around her. And so the only alternative was to hang herself inside the house. That was something that really touched my heart. And she was a very bright girl who had a very bright future and could have come to support her family later on. And so when I heard of this, when these girls were referred to me, at first I started with 2 girls who were referred to me by some community health workers. And so right now we are having a team of 12 girls who are already pregnant. And now the pregnancies have shown because the pregnancies are kind of the pregnancies are
Wow.
sorry.
Wow. Hey. Wow. Oh my God. Hey. That's why I usually say that let's go and reach out to these adolescents because they are just getting to understand their bodies and they are the early stages of maturing. And now someone is 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, they are pregnant, they don't know what to do. The society is castigating them. Oh my God.
Absolutely, Violet. And I will tell you for a fact that these are girls currently who need our support, especially as women. We should just assume, because if a normal girl, probably it was you, Violet, who found yourself in such a circumstance, simply because you had a support system, probably your parents were there for you. As much as they will be disappointed, but they'll give you all the support because probably they could afford it. So these are girls who have found themselves in such a trap. And the parent is not even supportive at all because one, she's frustrated. 2, she's very angry that you've disappointed her. 3, she does not even have a know-how of how she's going to take care of you, leave alone your baby who's on the way coming. And so I thought like these girls needed some mentorship program, as much as they're already on the wrong, because yes, they even them, they know they're on the wrong, yes, but some of them did not want to. Some of them, it's a defilement case. Others just found themselves due to circumstances that they were in. And right now, here they are. At the age of 14, you know nothing about pregnancy. At the age of 15, you know nothing about motherhood. Remember changes coming in their bodies. The mother cannot be close to the child because at the moment the mother feels like the child has let her down. And so this girl does not even have somebody to explain to, why don't I have sleep? Why am I missing my sleeps? Why am I like this? Why is this happening to me? Remember, these are girls who probably were just starting their menses. And the schools were the best place for them to get advice. But unfortunately, the schools were closed. So probably when she got pregnant, in a state that she was not even understanding her reproductive health system very well, if I assume so. So I feel like instead of stigmatizing them, instead of condemning them at this time when it has already happened. They need the support of so many other people so that they can go through the journey, finish their motherhood, and then we come back to the issues of back to school policy. There's a back to school policy, yes, but is there anyone who's talking about? I had the Minister of Education sometimes back saying the children will go back to school after giving birth. But who's dealing with them right now so that they can go back? They can be able to go back to school when they finish the process. No one. So meaning what? This child will finish her first pregnancy, but because of the frustration, she might find herself in the second pregnancy, try to fend for the first child. And that is how the cycle of poverty begins. And that child's life becomes doomed. Just like that, it's doomed. Because if you don't hold them up, so many ladies fell into traps some years back, but they managed to go back to school simply because they had a support system. These are girls whom we need to support so that they can go back to school and come back and support their own children and support the future children that they'll get in future. Otherwise, we'll be creating another cycle of poverty. And as women, we might lack a certain generation at a certain point. We might not have a generation. Because why? We lost them during COVID-19 year. As much as we're talking about COVID-19, can we talk of the consequences? We're just talking of teenage pregnancies. What are consequences right now? The consequences are girls are committing suicide. Others are killing their own children. They're just, I've had enough cases of children who are born and abandoned in the pit latrine. There's a case we had of a from a pit latrine. She's doing very well right now, actually. And there are others who are found already dead. The others them on the way. The others we find them in the dustbins. Why? Because nobody is there to mentor these girls who are currently pregnant. And so when they lack a support system, they do anything that comes in their head. It's either we lose them, we lose the kids they're carrying, or we lose their bright future ahead of them. So it's us as a society to try and see COVID-19, how has it affected our young girls? How has it affected this generation? The young boys probably who might also be pregnant, not pregnant, might also be responsible for the pregnancies, will start venturing into crime to be able to support their partners who is their age mate. A 15-year-old boy has impregnated a 10-year-old boy. What happened? This boy will feel like, I think I've done something wrong and this girl is already pregnant. What can I do to support her? Then he goes in crime, and that's how the crime rate again is going high. We'll also lose our many boys into drug and substance abuse because of the stress they're going through also. So as we're talking of adolescent girls, right now we are also talking of young mothers. Remember, the young mothers are also in the same category of adolescent age. How best can we help them as a society for them to be able to go back to school and come back and support their children, the ones who have already probably fallen into the trap of these perpetrators who kind of wasted their lives. So there are these programs that these are questions that we should be asking ourselves as supporters. How best can we support these children? My idea, I've been thinking about so many other ideas. I've been thinking of how best can we think of establishing a daycare where these children, after they give birth, the children can be brought to that daycare, and then the girls go to a day school, finish their studies, and after that they'll come back and take care of their children. Okay, there's so many things that we can do around that. The only thing we need is just to put our heads together and see how best can we support them first to go through this process of teenage pregnancy. It's traumatizing. If a pregnancy can traumatize a 30-year-old, what about a 14-year-old? It's worse. So imagine. It is us as ladies, it is us as a society, as men and women in our society today, to be able to hold hands and support these young girls. We've had quite a big issue around child defilement cases, where children have been defiled during this COVID-19 time. Most of them I've worked so well with Nairobi Women's Hospital that has been giving good support in terms of GBV services, and we're still working on it, and luckily it's just a month to go, and the children will be back to school. So I can say the COVID-19 time, as much as people have lost their livelihood, the consequences of all the problems, I think the post-COVID project should rotate around how best can we support the children and the young mothers and the families that have just gone through a lot during this COVID-19 time. And our projects as Real Hope, I can say, currently we are in the process of trying to see how best we can work around having a safe house to be able to rescue the children and take them through some guidance and counseling sessions, the trauma counseling, and offer them some services that will help them at least brighten their future ahead of them, because we believe each and every child has a bright future ahead. Each and every child deserves an opportunity to better her life or better his life. So our main focus is how best can we work together to help the children in our society to better their lives. And we are not doing this alone. I want to first of all appreciate our donors so much. We've worked around adolescent girls and young mothers. Plan International came in handy, and at least they gave us some sanitary towels, innerwears, soap, and innerwears to support these young girls. And again, for the young mothers, when it came to the hand stations, they were given some source of livelihood where they could something small for manning the handle stations. At least that was able, with that they were able to take care of the young children and take care of themselves. Otherwise, we could be having young mothers who are already having the third or fourth or second pregnancies. But at least we were able to mentor them into this program, and they got some livelihood that they could take care of their young babies. And I also want to pass our sincere regards to our main donors, who are Marafiki Trust. Marafiki Trust has journeyed with us throughout since we started our initiatives until to date. They've been so good to us, and each and every step of the way, I can say we really appreciate their support and their effort towards empowering the girls, the youth, and the women in our society. Our other main donor is International Needs. International Needs is an organization that has really journeyed with us again from the inception until to date, and we are doing quite a lot of work together, and we hope we'll be able to reach out to very many other children and youth in future with support from many other people who might come on board to join us and help us achieve our main goal of empowering the youth, children, and women in our society. We are having an organization that came on board during the COVID-19 time, which was implementing a project called Tibanisisi. Tibanisisi, that organization really helped us reach out to, at least we managed to do a lot of fumigation and disinfections in public places, where we were able to at least also give some source of livelihood and employment to a lot of youths, and especially the young mothers around Kawangware and Dagoretti area received a lot of support through this project. And we were also able to distribute a lot of soaps and masks to very many other communities around, that helped us, that at least we could say we did something around COVID-19 response. Our main COVID-19 project response was supported by an organization called UWW, United Way Worldwide. United Way Worldwide, under the generosity of 3M, came in handy during the COVID-19 response, where we were able to distribute over 5,000 masks to communities. We were able to distribute water using the water boozers in the community, because we realized during this time water was a very basic, was a necessity, and it was of great importance to COVID-19 response. We were also able to support the elderly and the sick by paying rent for the elderly, because we realized there was a big gap that when people talk of the cycle of poverty, you should understand it has started from somewhere. And this is something also I also want people to understand. The elderly are people who are neglected in our community. These are elderly coming from informal settlements. Now you can imagine of a granny aged over 100 years with no support system, with no one to take care of her, simply because her entire generation, probably others, died out of crime, died out of illnesses because they didn't have a good medical system to take care of their medical cases. And find that the grandchildren, probably because of lacking mentorship, most of them have gone into drug and substance abuse, and you find like these are grannies who didn't have anyone take care of them. So during this time, they were referred to us by the area chiefs, and we, by good luck, UW came in handy and helped us support them with food and paying rent for them, at least for them to survive during this COVID-19 time. We did quite a lot around giving food packages to families. We supported 600 families throughout the three months, at least with enough food vouchers that will cater for food in a month. And we said, rather than giving so many and we're giving only a packet of unga, let us concentrate with a few who are 600 and journey with them for the 3 months and give them some, at least some good amount of food stuff that will take them through. And we managed to at least support them through that, and we are very happy that at least some of them came out appreciating the fact that they lost their livelihood and they didn't have anything to eat. But during the 3 months, at least they were able to pick up, and after that, they're able to continue with their lives. So I can say COVID-19 response has been done by quite a lot of organizations. Now it is time for us to focus on issues, what I'm calling the post-COVID effect. What effect has COVID left us or is continuing to live in our society? And to begin with, the issues of teenage pregnancies is an issue that we need to discuss as a society and see how best do we support these children to go back to school after finishing their whole process, and how best can we support the young girls to access the sanitary towels. A basic thing like a sanitary towel, I think, should be free. To me, I say sanitary towels should be free. The government should just say condoms should be sold because sex is by choice, but menses are not by choice. So if the government can come in handy and say like, they find a way of distributing sanitary towels to the youths, to the adolescent girls in the society, especially the ones living in the slums. That one would really, really support these girls go through their education smoothly, and they'll be able to emerge successful in the future. So otherwise, we lose our generation of young women, and leave alone talking of them dying of HIV and AIDS, but they'll die because of they lacked support during that time, and that's why they found themselves even being HIV positive. Can we support them now before they fall into the trap of the perpetrators? Can we hold their hands now before they fall into the trap of these evil-minded men who are not willing to support their future? Let us try and support our young women and young girls in our society.
Oh, great, 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 great. Yeah, so, all right, all right, all right. Just a minute. Yeah, she's joining the studio in a few. Wow. They are doing amazing work. Reaching out to adolescent girls in Kibra, and also in Dagoretti. She's joining in a few. My God. And she's covered almost all the questions that I wanted to ask her. Viewer, now having heard even what mother has said, can't you also maybe even go ahead and also support them? Even just visit, go for a site visit, so that you can be able to see the awesome work they are doing. I'm just so delighted to see change makers like Mother Sunday, who are reaching out to the less fortunate in the society. And I also want to say thank you for the donors who have supported her, so that they may continue impacting their community. Because you know, like adolescent girls, at at that particular period of time, they really don't know themselves. The parents are not sharing with them about sex. Because even the parents, they don't even know where to start from. So you find that these particular adolescents and are prefer going to their peers to seek information, or even Google information on sex. But I'm so delighted that Mother is also offering mentorship sessions to the adolescent girls, so that they can be able to know themselves, to understand themselves, and be fruitful members of the society. So I'd like you, Mother, to share with us a little bit about your team.
Okay. I have a very great team behind me. And first, I want to appreciate the first three who are behind me. The people whom we started with the organization back in the year 2014. And namely, we have John Kireko, I have Boniface Kahuha, and I have Kevin Otieno. This team of 4 people is an amazing team pushed through this ever since 2014 until today, with a lot of zeal and dedication in their work. We have a team of staffs behind us. I have Sheila. I'll just mention them. Mention their first name. Sheila. We have Samuel. I have Ruth. Who are these three? These three is also a team of very great staff who have really worked with us throughout our journey. And then we have a bigger team that we work with on time to time. These are people who come in contracts.
There was a technical hitch there. She disappeared from the screen, but she's coming back. So Sheila Mother was sharing with us about her team, okay, and it is good that she has also provided opportunities and even jobs for the youth who are reaching out to the adolescents and also fellow youth. So when she joins the studio once again, we will be coming to the end of the session. So I will be asking her to pitch to a potential donor who is watching this particular show, so that they can support her initiative. And the other thing that I will also ask her is what message she has for adolescents and youth. So let us just wait, I think, for a minute or a few or seconds or so. But this is the reason why I started this show. There are amazing organizations that are doing amazing projects on the ground, reaching out to adolescents and youth, and yet we don't know them. And I'm just so delighted because of this particular platform, because it's going to open doors for them, and it is also going to expand their visibility, because I really didn't know that we have such an amazing organization like Real Hope Youth Organization. And I met, with regard to where I met Mother, I met a few years ago. We were working together on a project courtesy of Mama Sarah Obama Foundation. So we had traveled to Homa Bay County as well as Siaya County, because there was a potential project that we were supposed to do, and that is how I met Mother, and she is an amazing change maker. So I just want to give her like maybe 2 minutes or 1 minute. Oh, she's back. Karibu to the studio.
Thank you. Sorry, my internet is kind of messy. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So now we are coming to the end of the show. So what message do you have for? I'd like you to take this opportunity to speak to an adolescent who is watching this show, as well as youth who are watching this show, with regard to their sexual reproductive health.
I want to speak to an adolescent girl out there, and I want them to tell them first they have a future. I want them to promise them that the future ahead for them is bright, and the only thing they need to do is just to take it slowly, live a day at a time, despite the challenges that probably one of them, or maybe they might be facing in their lives right now. Let them know that they live to overcome all those challenges, and they'll have a bright future ahead. The only thing they need to do is take care of themselves, love themselves, let them appreciate themselves, and learn to like avoid all the temptations that may come in their way. May they let them create some mechanisms of how best to protect themselves from all the vices, social vices that are surrounding them in our society today, so they can live to fight another day. They can live to see a bright future that God has blessed them with in their near future. So I want to advise some girl out there that you're loved by the society. We love you all, and we really want you to succeed in your lives. So just take it slowly, have enough time for yourself, and avoid all the temptations that may come around you. Please don't focus on that. Focus on your future. Just know you have a very bright future ahead, and avoid all the, if you feel like I have a bad company that is leading me to nowhere, leave that company. Follow the advice that your parents are giving you. They might not have everything to give you now, but they have a future ahead, and they want you to have a very bright future ahead. They might have nothing for you today, but I'm sure you will have something for them if you take care of yourself now. You'll be able to take care of your parents, you'll be able to take care of your children, you'll have a very bright future ahead. I keep on telling girls that no one was born rich. But all these temptations that they're facing today, very many girls faced them during their youth time, but they managed to overcome them. They can also overcome them. So let them know that whatever they're experiencing today they're not the first ones to experience that. They can overcome all these challenges, and they'll have a very, very bright future ahead. They'll be happy for themselves. They'll appreciate themselves more for overcoming all these challenges that they're going through now.
Thank you. And I'd like you to take this opportunity to pitch to a potential donor. Why should they support Real Hope Youth Organization?
Anyone out there who's willing to support us, I really welcome you on board. Come. I always say this is not our work. It is our work as the four of probably who started the organization, but it is the work of our entire society. So we welcome you on board. Come through, let us join hands and work hand in hand to give back to our society, to make our society a better place than we found it ourselves. I always say giving to or supporting someone does not mean you have to be rich. No, the little you have will make a difference and will transform a life that even you yourself will be proud of. Let us live a life of purpose. And I welcome everyone on board who's willing to support us. Join our hand. Let us join hands in this journey of transforming the lives of so many vulnerable people in our society who need our support, who need our shoulder to lean on for them to move on to the next level. Maybe God has blessed you in one way or another, and you feel like you want to bless someone else. Yes, God sometimes blesses us to be a blessing to many other people out there. Let us join hands and work hand in hand to transform the future of so many vulnerable people in our society. We can't do it alone, but we can do it with your support. We need you, and we love you all so, so much.
Thank you. Thank you for pitching. So if there's a donor out there, you can go ahead and support Mother and her team so that they may continue creating more impact in the community that they are serving. So I want to say thank you to you, Mother, for joining this.
Violet, just a minute. Just a minute. For the people who might want to know about, we are available on Facebook, Real Hope Community Youth Organization. We have our website, www.realhopekenya.org. You can find us on Twitter. We are on YouTube. You can also find us on our personal pages. But if you want to reach us out, you can reach us. You can pay through PayPal in our website, or you can reach us out as a person and come in and we work together as a team.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, viewer, she's given you the information of how you are going to get in touch with them. Kindly go and do so. And I'd also like to add that if you've not yet subscribed to our channel, it's Adolescent Youth SRHR. On YouTube as well as on Facebook, on Twitter, we are also at Adolescent Youth 1, and we're also on Instagram at Adolescent Youth SRHR. So, Mother, I want to say thank you for gracing the broadcast today. Thank you for sharing what you're doing, and we wish you and your team best of luck. Not even luck, but we wish you blessings as you continue blessing others.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, Sawa. Thank you.
I will come to one of our forums. I will come to one of our forums and come and talk to the young girls also.
Yeah. It will be a pleasure. You just mentioned when you'd like me to come. It will be a pleasure to come. Even on Saturday, I was invited in Kaloleni at Kaloleni Social Hall, where I spoke to children. And both adolescent boys and adolescent girls. So this is something that I love doing, and even speaking to youth, sharing to youth as well. So it will be a pleasure to attend. So you just send me more information, and I'll plan and come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Violet.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, viewer, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. See you soon when we are going to host another change maker who's going to share with us the project that they're engaging in matters adolescent and youth sexual reproductive health. So, thank you so much, and see you soon. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, we are over and